All right, so if you're a chef, a cook, or you're in the food business, but you haven't cracked the codes yet on how to consistently generate $10,000 per month in profit with your business, this training is for you. My name is Julian Paul, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Elite Chef Academy. And today, we're gonna go over the private chef infrastructure, or how to start your own private chef business and generate $10,000 per month consistently in profit within 90 days or less.
Before we even get into it, I'll just like to go over some recent case studies that we had inside of the academy, just to give you a brief overview, right? Because the reason why I'm making this video, it's after talking to James about a week ago and seeing his growth within the past like 6 months working with me. I was just like, okay, like now I really need to build that up and create this training so we can actually diffuse it to many people. Okay, so just giving the example of James that went from literally scratch with his private chef business. He was just a cook, by the way, and yeah, generated over like 150,000 in revenue, $113,000 in profit with not even 100 days of work. Elias that started working with us about like a month ago, got his first client for Christmas and New Year, 5K in total for the contract. One client for Christmas that wants him to come 3 times per week and pay him like $80 an hour. It's like $8,000 per month for literally like 20 hours a week of work, a little bit more, 25 hours. That's great. Frederick Brody, I mean, we've used the example of Brody, 35 in and 35 days in inside of the academy, and already $9,700 in profit from only one client. Okay, that is hiring him full time. So that's amazing. These are the results that the people are getting inside of the academy. Now, what I'd like to go over with you is a little bit of math, a little bit of in depth into like what's the opportunity and how profitable it is and it will to be a private chef in 2025. Okay, so before we even talk about like the private chef industry, I'll just like to give you this quick reminder. By the way, all the informations that I'm about to give you right now, okay, all the sources like either ChatGPT, Google, Forbes, Indeed, FinMasters, or Commerce Institute. Okay, I'm not just coming up with information. I made the research, and like this is pure data collected from trusted sources and professionals. Okay, so let's just go back into it. As of 2023, the United States was home to approximately average 22 million of millionaires. Right now in 2024, we already at 30 million, which is a amazing, huge 36% growth. Okay, so 22 in 2023, right now 30 millions of millionaires. So we'll go back into this a little bit later and a little bit of math. But the idea, the reason why I'm sharing this, and by the way, it's only in the United States, right? But it's like the people that you want to work with are millionaires, okay, or billionaires, or multi-millionaires, okay. But it's just to give you an idea that like 30 million of people that potentially can be keen to pay you and looking for that type of solution that you can provide, okay. Now, let's do a little bit of math. In 2024, the personal chef service, the personal chef industry in the United States only is estimated to generate 4.5 billion in total revenue. Okay, so there's approximately 6.5 thousand businesses. That means that like across the 6,500 businesses, they are all making a total of 4.5 billion in total revenue. So now, if we apply the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle, if you don't know what a Pareto principle, I just made like a really brief description right here. Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule, came from the Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto in the 1890s. Okay, he noticed that 20% of people own 80% of Italy's wealth. Later, he was applied to many areas. It was applied to many areas, showing that 20% of cause often lead to 80% of results, helping prioritize what matter the most. Sometimes it's not a 80-20, it's going to be a 90-10, or it's going to be a 75-25, a 70-30, but it's always in that range, okay? And the average will be 80-20. To give you another example, rather than like Ito's wealth, I mean it's the same in the entire world, right? If we take the example of the separation of wealth, 20% of the richest people on earth, is actually more than 20%, it's actually like 10% or something, earn own 80% of the entire world's wealth. In cooking, 20% of the ingredients that we have in the kitchen are used in 80% of the meals that we cook, in the dish that we cook, that we prepare. Menus, 20% of the entire menu generates 80% of the restaurant revenue. Clientele, 20% of the total client generates 80% of the total restaurant's revenue. Again, it's gonna change a little bit depending on one restaurant and another, but it's always gonna be in that range. Okay, so if now we apply this principle to our industry, okay, that means that there are 20% of businesses, okay, out of like those 6,500 businesses that are generating 80% of the total revenue in the private chef industry in the United States. Okay, so 20% of 6,500 businesses, like 1,300 businesses, that are generating about 3.5 billions of $3.5 billion in revenue every single year. Okay, now if we divide 3.5 by 1,300 to know how much money each private chef business is generating per year, we have 2.7 million. Okay, now I wanna give you a quick disclaimer. I am not saying that you are gonna start your private chef business and you're gonna be making 2.7 million dollars in revenue per year. Okay, out of those 1,300 businesses, maybe like 1% or like between 1 and 10% are gonna make again 80% of those 3.6 billions. Okay, so they're actually like maybe like, I don't know, 10 to 100 businesses in the United States, private chef businesses, that are already making tens of millions of dollars with their own private chef business per year. Okay, which leaves the other rest, the other 1,300, with maybe like a few $100,000 a year. Okay, and the remaining, okay, 4,000, 5,000 businesses are making on average $170,000 per year, which is not that bad. Okay, it's revenue, it's not profit, but like let's say we've got like a 50% profit margin, which is pretty accurate in the space. It can be even more. But let's say you cash in what, like 80,000. 80,000. That's not too bad, but that's not what we're aiming for. Okay, we're aiming for at least 300 to 400,000 in revenue to actually like approximate $200,000 in profit before taxes. Okay. So I hope that this is clear, and just to like again remind yourself that there is like a $4.5 billion revenue generated already. Okay, it's not like these are not projections. It's like it's already made, right? It was like in 2024, this year, like they already made over 4 billions. Okay, and there is only 6,500 businesses right there. Now you might be like, oh, 6,500 is a lot. Well, this is the reason why I bring that here, because I want to share something with you. Okay, so I really want you to listen carefully right now, because I mean, the revenue thing, it was something I made this map because I want you to have an idea of what I am going to talk about right here. Okay, so let's just say that out of those 30 million millionaires, there's only 1% that have them in the payroll. Okay, so at least $15,000 per month in profit. Okay, that's like what you get at the end of the month, like in your pocket. Okay, not revenue, profit. Let's say that there's only 1% of them that want to pay you. The reason why I was so conservative is for two reasons. The first one is that not every millionaire want to have a private chef. Okay, even billionaires, like some people just don't want to have a private chef. That's a fact. Second is 30 million millionaires means that somebody that actually make 1.1 million a year is a millionaire. Technically, you might not want to work with somebody like this, but more with somebody that is already making like 2 million a year, 3 million a year, 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 million, 100 millions a year. Okay, because somebody that is making $1 million, I mean, 15,000 a month will already be 15% of his monthly income. Okay, I'm not saying that somebody that's making $1 million a month, $1 million a year, won't hire you, but I'm just saying to be conservative, we're just gonna take 1%. Okay, not 10, not 5, not 3, just 1%. Okay, 1% of 30 million is 300,000. Okay, 10% will be 3 million. 1% is 1% 300,000. Now, again, this is a fact. Okay, I'm not like I'm not trying to just like look for numbers. Okay, just go online. You find that 20% of businesses in the United States fail after year one. Okay, so that means that out of those 6,500 businesses that we saw, okay, right here, okay, 6,500 businesses that share 4.5 billion per year. There's already 20% that are going to die. So we just want to take them out of the equation, okay? Because we start from the point that like in 12 months from now, you're gonna be there, okay? You are going to be there. So we don't want to compete with them. So we already take out 1,300 businesses, okay? So you compete with 65 minus 1,300 businesses, which is 5,200, okay? 5,000, okay? You only compete with 5,000 businesses. Now, there is 300,000 potential clients, or even more. Again, like I wanted to be really conservative with that number, but there's $300,000 clients, potential clients that have the means to pay you up to $15,000 per month, and that are looking for a private chef. Okay, that needs the solution. For 5,200 businesses, this is nothing. If you divide 300,000 per 5,200, that's 57. That means that there's literally 57 people per business that are looking to pay you $15,000 per month. So, really quickly, tomorrow you want to start your private chef business in the United States and get paid $15,000 per month, because this is what somebody in your niche, right, is able to pay you. You want to start tomorrow. There's already 57 people that need you. And if your neighbor want to start his own private chef business also, there is another 57 people that are looking for him. And if your brother's neighbor is looking to start his own private chef, there's another 57 people that are looking for him. Okay? So there are countless opportunities for people today, for established chefs. When I'm saying established chefs, is like a cook, like you know how to cook, right? You've been cooking before, to actually make a lot of money. Now the question is, how do you find those 57 people? I mean, you don't need 57, you only need one, but you have 57 times more chances. If you can't find the first one, you'll find the second one. Okay, if you don't find the second one, you find the third one. You have 57 chances. Okay, now the question is, where do you find those people? Well, this is what we're going to talk about right now. Okay, so if you've been a cook or a chef for a few years, you know that money and time are two extremely limited resources. Let me just zoom. All right, so you might have already tried different ways to solve your problem, so you could make more money and have more time for yourself and your family, but nothing seems to work. Either you tried catering or taking a sous chef, a head chef position, and maybe you also tried to open your own restaurant or already have your own private chef business, but it's not getting off the ground. You're not able to bring consistent clients that allow you to make consistently $10,000 per month and plus. You could even have gotten out of the industry doing something completely different because you burned out. It happened to me. I used to go out of the industry for like a few months. You already know that things like branding, marketing, advertisement, and social media are important. And it's even possible that you tried to implement those things, some of those strategies, but without any success yet. Up to this point, for you, a successful chef is successful for his cuisine, and that's all. But deep down, you know that in 2025 and forward, just cooking well won't be enough. There are literally amateurs on social media that are making, like, they can't even barely cook a steak. They're making millions of views, taking your money just because they mastered a skill that you don't have yet. And this skill, it is called attention. But more importantly, how to transform this attention into high paying clients. because the reality is that you can make hundreds of thousands and millions of views on social media. If you don't know how to transform, if you don't know how to convert this attention into high paying clients, you are over. Okay? I have made hundreds of thousands of dollars with my private chef businesses without having tens of thousands of followers on social media. Okay? With not even having thousands of followers, without having thousands of followers on social media. Okay, when I first started, I had like 300 followers on my social media, nothing else. But the ability that I developed, okay, by marketing, branding, and sales to actually convert this little attention that I had allowed me to go from like just being literally like a broke and depressed young cook to live experience, like traveling around the world and always traveling business, okay? Taking my grandma in vacation, building the literally best physical shape of my life, realizing dreams like fighting in the professional division in Mexico, and obviously, more importantly, being a successful private chef, traveling and working around the world, like in Panama, like in Hong Kong, like in New York, like in Switzerland, and making tens of thousands of dollars every single month consistently in profit with my private chef business without having to burn myself out in the kitchen working 12 hours a day. So, why should you even leverage this system ASAP? For over 5 years, I analyzed my own success in the one of my clients, and I've seen one process repeating itself. This process helped my clients and myself to go from struggling to find our first clients to consistently making well over $10,000 per month. Remember James, okay, that in the past 100 days made over $100,000 in profit, and having the freedom to spend more time with our family, travel around the world, and take time off much more often than we used to do back when we were traditional chefs, okay? What you're going to need and what we developed is a clear plan of action. Look this like a recipe, okay? If tomorrow I ask my apprentice to go and prep me like a lobster sauce, but he has never done that before, he's about to get lost and literally have no idea on where to start. However, if he has a clear action plan that walks him through step by step on what to do with the right execution, he might not get there the first or the second time, but the third time he'll just get it. It's going to work. Accountability. Having a plan to stick to is amazing, but having somebody who has already gone through this plan hold your hand throughout the entire process is even better. And you need to have processes in places like an action plan, okay? But you also need humans on a daily basis that have been there already, okay? To actually hold your hand for each action you take to stay on track and avoid mistakes that could cost you a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money. Now, what are the components of this system that you need to pull this off, okay? The first thing is called brand identity. Make them fall in love. You already mastered the most important skill, which is cooking. Now you want to get yourself in front of other people, but the right people, the people that are naturally attracted by who you are. You already have everything. You just need to organize this right now. Now, one thing that I want you to understand is that customers buy from somebody they like, or at least they will never buy from somebody that they dislike. So you want to build an identity that looks like them, so you'll feel familiar to them. You feel like, oh, like they feel like I already know that person, okay? And you're most likely to buy from somebody you know because you trust them. That's somebody that you don't know. If I tell you Tesla, you don't directly think about the car. You think about Elon Musk. And the reason why you think about Elon Musk is about nobody really cares about the car. People don't buy because they like Tesla. People buy because Elon is a cool guy. Elon built that brand identity around himself on social media. So people just like, when they buy a Tesla, they're just like, that's cool to buy a Tesla. Okay? Same for Kim Kardashian or for Jake Paul and Logan Paul, okay? The YouTubers, okay? Those superstars, they don't have amazing products. I don't know if you know who is like Logan Paul and Jake Paul, but their brand, the energy drink Prime. Okay, Prime is the biggest energy drink company in the United States right now. Okay, it's valued like at $1 billion. Okay, or over $1 billion. They don't have amazing products. Okay, Prime is not the best energy drink in the world. If we take the example like Kylie Jenner, okay, that is the first woman billionaire in the entire world at 21, or the youngest woman billionaire in the United States. Okay, at 21, she became a billionaire. She doesn't have the most quality underwear or makeup company and products in the entire world. Okay, the quality remains okay because they have to, but that's all. Remember, people buy who they love, not the opposite. The last quick example is when you go to buy a Lamborghini and ask the salesman, why should I buy the Lamborghini instead of buying a Ferrari? Well, the salesman will always answer this. You tell me, why would you want to buy the Lamborghini rather than the Ferrari? They're not gonna try like to oversell you. They're not gonna try to be like, oh, but like you should buy because of this and this and that. They already branded themselves. They already know that if you come, it's because you want to buy the Lamborghini, you don't want to buy the Ferrari. People buy from who they love, not the opposite. Okay? When you look at those brands, right here, you don't think about this is the best brand in the world. They have the best products. And maybe you might think like this. Maybe you might think that like iPhone is better than Samsung. But product wise, technique wise, this isn't always true. But what they were able to do is build that seed in your brain that they are the best, that this is what you need to buy, that if you want to be cool, if you want to go fast, if you want to look rich, if you want to be fun, if you X, they plant that seed in your brain and you buy it. Step number 1, brand identity. Step number 2, clients on demand. Never like them. I remember in the beginning trying to find clients using ad platforms, okay, paid ad platforms like Google, Facebook, and I spent thousands of dollars and nothing happened. No clients. I lost it. I lost it all. Then I tried to work with those websites providing you unlimited customers like Take a Chef or Miu Miu. Take a Chef is like the most famous one. Okay. They definitely, you remember what I showed you about like the 4.5 billions? They definitely in one of the company in the United States making the most amount of money. I don't know who is making money with this, like as private chefs, because for myself, like I've been in their platform for years and never had anybody calling me. Okay. I received the propositions every day, but never got anyone confirmed. I never went into a client's house with that. Okay. So then I finally tried to work with private chef agencies, and the following happened. I literally made less money after a month working for somebody, like working for those agencies, that I was actually making working as a chef. And they were making me work like 12, 14 hours a day. So I actually had to find another way, which was my way. All those people, those agencies and those like websites, clients, providers, they all generate customers for themselves. Like they don't use like other platforms or whatever. Like they have their own source of traffic. And this is when I understood that I had to do the exact same thing. I had to own the traffic. I had to own the audience. Same way Jake Paul, Kim Kardashian, McDonald, they all doing. They own the audience.
All right, step number 3, retention. Make them buy more. It's always easier to go and take more money to an existing client than finding a new client willing to pay you new money. If we use the example of Apple, more likely than not, existing Apple customers, they already have multiple products from Apple. Okay, in my case, I have 2 Mac Pro at the house. I've got 3 iPhones. I've got the headphones. I've got the Apple Watch. Does that make sense? You're more likely to buy from somebody that you already know that go to buy to somebody else. So if you have already clients, you need to sell them more. Before I found this strategy, I was making good money, but it wasn't consistent. 1 month I will crush it and make 10 to 15,000. in a month, but then I'll make just enough the month after to cover my bills, my personal expenses, and the cost for my business. Until this day where I signed the ultimate contract, I convinced one super wealthy family to work with them full time. And the more I work, the more I made. So if I didn't want to take any events on the side this month, I will just work more with them to get a $10,000 to $12,000 in a month, which also on the side allowed me to free up some time when I didn't want to work that much with them and be able to work with like one-shot clients for specific events. By using this strategy, you end up making a decent, consistent monthly income, like $6,000 to $7,000 in a month, which was what I was getting paid as a base. And you can use your spare time to go with those one-shot clients and get paid up to $2,500 per client per event. Okay, and this is how Fabian, that was literally my first client ever, my first student, generated over $37,000 last year for the this year in 2024 for the month of January, working full-time for one family and attending a couple of events here and there on the side. Okay, so he had his base of like $7,000 to $8,000, and on the side he did like many events in January where he was able to make almost to $40,000 in profit. This is the end of this video. I hope that you took some notes. I am sure that this was actually valuable. I am looking forward to meet you on our next meeting and see how I can actually help you for you to be part of Elite Chef Academy and be able to start and build your own private chef business and get a $10,000 per month in profit consistently within the next 90 days. See you on the other side.